So along with the brand new gameplay trailer that was shown off in June at the PC Game Show, Tripwire has also done several interviews along with an IGN Rewind session where they gave us a bunch of details about Killing Floor 3. Hey guys, this is Chris with B&B Gaming. Welcome back, and I hope you're doing amazing today. Thank you for all your likes, your shares, your comments, all your support over the years. And if you're new here and you're interested in Killing Floor 3, hit that subscribe button. A quick PSA, I started up a brand new X account called Killing Floor 3 News. On it, of course, you'll find the latest Killing Floor 3 news, but you'll also find the smaller things that I normally don't put in a video, such as screenshots or new Killing Floor 3 music, concept art, etc. In addition, you'll also find community artwork, community gameplays, and of course I'm going to post a lot more once the game gets out in beta and finally launches. And you'll find a link to it in the description below. Now to start out with, guys, I broke this down into different categories, and if you want you can skip around to different chapters in the video player. First category, upgraded gore and persistent damage. Now this isn't just feedback or cosmetic, it's also going to affect gameplay because, for example, if you blow off their legs, they're going to be crawling at you, or if you disable different aspects of the Zed, for example, if you disable the Scrake's chainsaw, it's going to affect how the battle plays out. The next category, upgraded Zeds. First of all, we have from the gameplay trailer, we have the new crawler with a normal mouth, bigger mouth, and the crocodile mouth. Next we have the Husk, who now has a jetpack so they can jump from elevation to elevation. Another upgraded Zed we have here is the Gore Fast, and we don't have an official trailer for the Gore Fast, but if you slow it down in the background here, you notice that this Gore Fast is jumping down from height. To me, this sounds like the Gore Fast has potential to be an ambush Zed like the Husk, where you're going to have to be aware of your circumstances, or maybe there's, air vents or something that this guy can come flying out of. Here we have another example of the upgraded Zeds where we have a bunch of crawlers in this contained environment. You have some above you on the walls and dropping down, and again we can see the crocodile jaws in action here. Finally, in the gameplay trailer we have the Flesh Pound, and maybe it's just the effect of the trailer, but it looks like to me that when he does his arm whip, whatever's under him he throws at the player. I guess we'll have to wait and see on that one. Finally, with the gameplay trailer, in the IGN Rewind interview, Brian Wynea says that in this poster there are yet more unreleased or upgraded Zeds and new Zeds that they're going to be revealing down the road. The next category I'm calling the combat puzzle. In an interview with PC Gamer again, the director of Killing Floor 3, Brian Wynea, says, "It used to be that there were tons of Zeds, but they were all very similar in height, so you could just line up the heads and start shooting." He goes on and says, "It's something that players love to do, and it's something we love to do too, but we wanted to increase the danger. So Zeds are now more unique challenges, like chess pieces that we're serving up to the players. There are fewer Zeds on screen now, and the pace of combat is a bit slower, but now you'll have to deal with problems like the fact the Husk can fly and they're shooting down at you from various rooftops." Another aspect of the combat puzzle we have here with the cyst. As we look at the cyst, we can see it doesn't have any eyes, so it must hunt by sound. Now, in an earlier video I threw out the idea that there could be silencers, or Killing Floor 3 could incorporate sound into the combat design. Well, we have confirmation when talking about playing as a commando or Mr. Foster. Brian Wynea said again, "When I'm playing as Mr. Foster or the commando, his tier 2 gun is a really well-rounded type of assault rifle, but when you put an ACOG scope on it, put it on single shot and whack on a silencer, it kind of blurs the lines and allows you to use the weapon in a whole new way." Now you might be wondering, why exactly would you even bother with a silencer? As Brian stated earlier, there are fewer Zeds on screen. However, in a developer interview, Bill Monk said there's actually more Zeds in the world at one time. Now this is speculation on my part. My guess is maybe you choose to go silent, you'll have fewer Zeds getting to your objective. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Another aspect of the combat puzzle is that we'll be able to disable certain parts on Zeds.
He can get in your face very quickly now. The thing when you see a lot of like these kind of like glowing emissive elements on there, that is us communicating to you as a player, this is a threat. You should focus on this. You should target it. Like you can actually shoot that face mask off and expose this kind of giant critical zone on his face and take him out. If you saw our Scrake reveal video, you see a close-up of kind of that terrifying look. But even his chainsaw, like if he's really hassling you, why don't you use your weapons to disable what he's attacking you with so you can get the upper hand?
Absolutely.
Another aspect of the combat puzzle is I believe there's going to be mini bosses or mid-game bosses in Killing Floor 3. So when talking about the Impaler on the IGN Rewind video,
like Killing Floor is at its best when you have like 2 rounds left and you're literally like wiping the sweat off your brow. But I can't tell you how many times that like a zip line has essentially saved my life, right? Like we'll talk about who you see at the end. He's chased me a few times and I've had to hop on this guy and get out of there.
Brian said he's, meaning the Impaler, chased me a few times and I've had to jump on this guy, the zip line, and get out of there. Now obviously you can't get away from bosses in Killing Floor 2, and I'm assuming you're not going to be able to get away from them in Killing Floor 3. So to me this confirms that there's going to be mid-game mini bosses in Killing Floor 3. The next category, playable characters and the announced specialists or perks. So initially when they announced Killing Floor 3, they announced that it would be going to a specialist or hero shooter. Now this caused tremendous concern in the Killing Floor community because generally speaking, hero shooters have not done very well in a PvE environment. And as a Killing Floor player myself, it doesn't really fit what Killing Floor is. Because of this, Tripwire released a statement in part said, "We've also seen community concerns. We are paying attention to them. Killing Floor has been and continues to be many things to many people. We want to make sure we are making the best Killing Floor game to date. We are listening and want to understand what Killing Floor means to each of you. Killing Floor 3 is currently in a pre-alpha state, with systems still maturing and content being developed. We are actively implementing community feedback and will be sharing more details in the future. In the near future, we will officially enter our technical alpha, then beta stages, where we will open the game up for more direct community feedback." Now I read all that just to kind of couch what's going to be read here. When it says specialist, I'm going to say specialist perk because I believe they're going to remove the specialist system or at least untether the characters from the perks. So originally with the specialist system, Mr. Foster was going to be the only commando, and you could only play commando if you played Mr. Foster. So if you wanted to play Firebug, you'd have to play whoever the female character is for Firebug. If you wanted to play the new engineer, you would have to play whoever the engineer is. So anyways, let's go into what they actually said originally. In a PC Gamer interview, he said, "Each specialist has a unique set of weapons specific to them. As Mr. Foster, I'm that classic well-rounded commando, and I'm going to have a variety of assault type weapons to suit me. This could be anything from a bullpup type design to something that's almost like an LMG, but those guns are going to be well suited and kitted out for him." He goes on and says, "You go to our Firebug, she's going to have various flamethrowers, heat and energy based weapons that work for her." One key aspect to this new system is that each specialist or perk is going to have their own gadget. Brian calls it the "oh shit" button, a piece of equipment that can be unleashed to clear the screen. For Commando, this is an acid belching drone that will carve a path through a horde. But Wainia says his favorite is the Engineer's sound cannons, which pop up from your shoulders and let you turn opponents into jam. According to PC Gamer, this power responds fairly quickly, and in the current iteration, it seems like you can use it once a round or so. The next category, upgraded movement abilities. So obviously the Zeds are more powerful and have more varied attacks. To counter this, players will now have the ability to slide, vaulting, dash. There's also ladders and zip lines. They haven't confirmed whether there's going to be mantling or not, so climbing. But as we can see, there are going to be zip lines, so there might be more traversal items. Finally, we have the weapon mod system. So Killing Floor 3 is going to feature a brand new weapon mod system where you'll be able to customize your weapons to your playstyle. In the PC Gamer interview, Ryan Wynea said, "Weapon customization is a huge addition to Killing Floor 3, and it's something our community has wanted for a long time, and something we've wanted to add for a long time too. The thing that's awesome is that it allows you to take a gun and play with it the way you want to." He goes on and clarifies, "We're not going to let you redesign the gun. You can't take a shotgun and turn it into a sniper rifle, but if you want to use a sniper rifle and you want something that will allow you to shoot from the hip more, we have mods that'll allow you to do that. If you want to have a long range scope, load the magazine with heavier rounds, so different ammo types confirmed, we have a set of weapon mods in the game to allow you to play that way." He goes on and says, "When I'm playing Commando, his Tier 2 gun is a really well-rounded type of assault rifle, but when you put an ACOG scope on it, put it on single fire and whack on a silencer, it kind of blurs the lines and allows you to use the weapon in a whole new way." They've also confirmed that there are going to be sentry guns and laser guns in Killing Floor 3. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Are you hyped up for Killing Floor 3? Are you concerned about the specialist system? What do you think of the new Zeds? What do you think of the weapon mod system? Let us know in the comments below. For me, when I first heard the specialist system, I didn't like it because it gave me flashbacks to playing Back 4 Blood and Rainbow Six Extraction, which I actually like that game. It's pretty good. But I found the problem with hero shooters in a PvE game, player versus environment, is it's very limiting. In my opinion, it makes a lot of sense for games like Overwatch or Apex Legends, etc., because then you can see what's on your team, you can see what's on the other team, and you can play accordingly. In the instance of Killing Floor, where it's a co-op game, it only limits gameplay. I think back to playing a lot of Rainbow Six Extraction. You know, it's fun, but each character has 2 or 3 weapons, and there you sit. There really isn't a lot of flexibility with it. I think to my time playing Back 4 Blood, and there were certain characters I just didn't want to play. They're annoying, the voice lines are annoying, where I think Killing Floor 1 and 2 have it dialed in better, where they have a bunch of characters. If you want to play Mr. Foster as a firebug, that's fine. You want to play him as a berserker, you want to play him as whatever, you can play whatever character you want to. And if you don't like certain characters, you don't have to play them. So I am hopeful that they've heard the community and they've gone back and just kind of removed that stuff out of the game. But overall, I'm super excited for Killing Floor 3. One of my biggest hopes with Killing Floor 3 was it would make a leap, kind of like Doom did with Doom 2016 to Doom Eternal. And from what I've seen so far, they've done that. So I'm excited to see and hopefully play a lot more here.